Hello and welcome back to another video of RPA project. I have already done two videos related to this project. The first one is for introduction and the second one is to create DuPage County automation workflow to save document. And in this DuPage County workflow, I have explained many things which are really important for RPA developers. So this is the schedule of each video you can see on your screen right now. And all of these videos will be available on the mentioned dates, and the link of the playlist will be available in the description of each video, so that you can click on that link and reach on the playlist directly. But if you are starting from this video, you don't have to worry about other parts because you can start from anywhere, and in the end the video number 6 is where I will connect all the workflows. So you can start from video number 1, you can start from video number 4, you can start from video number 5. You don't have to worry about the starting point, but watch the complete video together at one time. Okay, so that you understand the entire flow. Otherwise, you have to do some revisions once again. So there is one more thing, like the structure of the website can change anytime, but the basic concept will remain same. So you don't have to worry if you see some other image or if you see some other structure of the website tomorrow, because these are the county website. They have all the rights to change them anytime. But the basic concept will remain same. How to click, how to check the folder, that will remain always same. Only thing is that your click and typing steps will be changed. You can see in this diagram that county workflow 1, 2, 3. There are three different counties workflow which we will be creating, and the parameters or the variables will be almost same. All right. So what we can do as a best practice, like we will go and we will copy the same workflow which we have created for DuPage County, so that we don't have to create all the variables and entire structure once again. Okay, so this is how you can reuse. So if you see there is a similarity or a major part of the workflow 1 is similar to workflow 2, then you should copy entire workflow. Let's do that. I will go to my project folder. Here is our project folder, this title search, and this is the DuPage County workflow. So we have to give the name with the county name, and reason for that is that when we will call individual workflows, then we have to pass the same name to the arguments also. All right. So what we will do is we will see in this data. So what is the name which we have given is orange. So same name we have to create the workflow also, because when we will run this project end to end, the flow will identify from here that it has to call Miami workflow, or it has to call DuPage workflow, or it has to call orange workflow, because we have different county and different records. Copy it and then now rename it. Now let's open this workflow with UiPath. I am using community version. If you are learning on your company system, then you can use trial version. So UiPath is just opening this workflow. It's open. So this is a DuPage County workflow. So let's first of all change the name here wherever it is applicable. Properties. Okay, so first of all, in this Excel, we have taken all the required URLs. So we will use this URL now. Okay, let's copy this, and we have created our default variables here. So we have, okay, so how to create the default variables, that is explained well in the last video of in the video number 2, which is the DuPage County automation video. So you can go, link is there in the description, and you can watch that video. Right, so here is the URL which is changed. Okay, so after mentioning the URL, we have to change these details as well. So which right now we are not changing. We will change in upcoming part of this video. So now let me just minimize this. When you will click on this, it will get minimized variable section. Okay, and now let's remove this part and see that if the browser opening part is working successfully or not. This activity. Yes, so it has opened the browser, and yes, it has successfully opened the county website. Now next is that we used to type address into. So this structure was already built for due page. I am repeating this again and again so that you don't get confused. Okay, we have to just change the selector here. So this was the recording. So we have to delete this entire recording and then we have to record the part again. So as this is the website, the web recording will work perfectly. So it is web here. So once recording is start, you can just click here and then you can click on this. It will prompt this window. You can type any test address. Click on the empty field because we want to remove the old values from the field whenever we run this workflow. Alright, and then come back here, click on this and then hit enter. Okay, after hit enter, this is the only part which is required as of now. So let's escape this now, and when you will escape, you will have this save recording. When you will click on save, this recording will come in the bottom side or somewhere else. You have to drag this to the right place and then rename it REC, which is recording type address. Alright, and if you want to test this once again, website is already open, so page is available. What you can do is you can just right click and set this as a start node. So this is connected to start now. You can see connection here. There is no connection from upcoming activities, so it will run only this piece of workflow. So let's remove this first and then run now. So address is typed. Okay, now next thing is that it has to click on that search button which is available on the website page. So let's go there. So this is the old screenshot because we have used same sequence in view page. Now you have to click this and indicate on the screen. Okay, and once you will click on indicate on the screen, then it will come, focus will come. Otherwise, you might have to change the focus using Alt tab, and then you come and click on this icon, search icon. This is the search icon here. All right, so it is updated. If you want to check the selectors, and you can go to properties and check that selectors are stable or not, because selectors are the main part in your workflow. If there is some part which you think that it will be changed, then you should remove that part or you should modify the selector. To learn how to modify selectors, there is a dedicated video which I have done. You can watch that video. Otherwise, if you have seen the second video of this project, that will be sufficient for this project. If you want to highlight on that field, click on highlight. And it is going right place. Click on the highlight once again to release. Okay, all right. So let's test only this part. Set as a start node. Delete the connection from coming parts. It has clicked successfully. You might see some other thing. All right, no result because the address was not valid address. All right, okay. And you know that how to put these annotations. So let's say if I want to put annotation here, click on the search icon. Okay, so the same way, and you have this icon, pin icon to click here. And in previous video, I have done annotation into all, so you can see all the annotations are already given. So this is how you enter the annotation. In the previous county, we have the scenario that only one result will come or no result will come. So that we have handled from here. So if the billing address page is available, then there is a result available, otherwise no result. But here the scenario is different. We might have multiple results also for one record. So let's see that how to handle that. So I am using only this house number. Right, I will go on this county site and I will mention this. I will search for the record. So you see the table is there. And what we have to do now next is that we have to search for this name. So if you search for this name, you can do Control F and then this pop-up will come and then you can search. So you see the name is still not there, correct? So what we have to do is that we have to go and we have to make this 25. So this everything I am doing manually. So when you will do 25 and search again, okay, still there is no match. So let's search only by the first name. So you have this first name available here. Okay, so the name is correct. Now, don't forget to close this window because this will not allow you to work on the selectors. Let's close this. All right. So now just think that how can you differentiate that it is a multiple record output or it is a unique record output. So if it is a unique record, you will not have this table, first point, and then if table will not be there, this second row will not be there. So what we can do is that we can take the selector of this second row and then we can decide that yes, if second row is available, which means it is a multiple record. If it is not, then it is a single record. And accordingly, we can develop the flow for two different branches. Okay, so I will go here. I will change the selector of this billing address to this is from the previous one, previous county. So we will go and let's use UI Explorer for that. Indicate on element here, click, and then let's click on the row number 2. Row number 1 might be available when one record is there, but row number 2 will be available when multiple records are there. So click on this. So you will see the selector. If you don't know much about UI Explorer, then you can watch another video on my YouTube channel. Make a star because this number will change multiple times. So we have to use wildcard wherever we are using the selector. All right. And then you can take this column name for further verification. Again, you have to change this. All right. Now you can just validate the selector before you are using it from here. And then if you want to highlight, click on highlight. Yes, it is going on the right place. Click highlight again to release. Okay. Now you just copy the selector and you can directly use into your workflow. Go click on this element exist, come here and change the selectors. All right, click on validate. Yes, it is working fine. Okay. What I will do that we have to create some different flow here because in the previous county we have not handled this multiple rows. So let's zoom in from here. I think 70 will be enough. 70%. So here is the window to change zoom. 70%. And then you can select the part of the workflow file and then you can drag this down to create a space. All right. And let's set back the zoom to 100. So now this billing address, right click for rename function F2 and EE is element exist, which is the name of this UiPath activity. And I have given the short name. After that, we have to seek, right? And once we have this, the address is as address page visible. So if you want, you can change the variable name. To change the variable name, if you don't want, then you can use the same variable. To change the variable name, we will come here. We'll make like table page visible. So wherever this variable is used, it will be changed automatically. This is the functionality in UiPath, so you don't have to worry about that. Okay, after that we have to get one decision box. Flow decision. So this is how you can search. In flow decision, what we can do is we can check like if rename the flow decision table, and then we can use the same variable which we have just renamed. Get the table page visible. So and go to properties. Okay, so to access the variables, just put a space and then here is our variable table page visible. Okay, after this, let's get to write line activities WR. Drag this to top and I think this space is not sufficient. Copy paste. So to let's test this. I am doing this to test this flow. Okay, here is a table. Not a table. Okay, so we will start from here. We will set this EE as a start node, which is element exist. If you want, you can move this cursor on the top like this. Just drag, hold and drag. Now let's run. So what kind of data is there right now? It is a table. So it should come on this branch. Here is a table. Okay, let's see and let's run and see the result now. Here is a table. Now what we will do is that we will test another scenario where we will use proper address with street name. Let's go on the quick search. Okay, and then search. And then let's run this now and check the result. Not a table. Alright, so these branches are working fine. Now delete this because this was only for testing right line, read right lines. Right now, next is that we have to start developing the flow. So if it is false, false means that only one record is available on the screen. So if we are on this page, the multiple record page, then also we have to come back on the single record because let's say I am just doing it manually now. So this is the list of records. So let's say we have to go on this record, we have to click on this and then you see we are back on the same screen, which is single record screen. All right, so there are only few steps which will come in between multiple records to single records. Okay, so those things we will do into one sequence. So let's create the empty sequence for now. Okay, so sequence seq. Just rename this multiple records table. I will re-explain the entire flow once again so you don't have to worry about that. So we are just creating this. Okay. So what will happen when we will find single record? Okay, there will be some element which is available. So if you want to re-verify that, you can take one more element exist, and this is this part which I have developed in the previous county. So I will just put that on the side. I will just put this down because this is how the design will go. So it will come from here to that page. So what we will do is we will take one more element exist just to ensure that yes, page is available. Exist. Okay, click on this, go on the top. So if let's say it is unique page, right? This is the unique page branch. If you want, you can change these labels also true and false. You can change this to go to properties, click on the decision box, go to properties and change this true to multiple table, and you can change this false to this false you can change to unique. Okay, so if it is unique, just we will come and we will see that if page is available or not, because we have only checked that yes, table is available and there is something. If table is not available, then the element should exist. Which element? Some element which is on that page. So what we can do is we can take the selector of this mailing address on the file, mailing address, and we can go indicate that element on the screen. Okay, all right. And then you can create one variable if, because we cannot use any existing variable from last county, like mailing at exist mailing address. Okay, and remember the name exist mailing address. You can copy the name here if you want, and once it is there, we will take another decision box. Already flow decision is there, so we can use same flow decision in this flow. So what I will do is I will connect from here to here, and then I have to change the variable. I hope you are understanding the reusability from the previous video. So what we have, which exist mailing address. So this is the variable which we are using into this decision box. Okay, so if let's say now understand the flow once again, I will just remove this start point. So first browser will get open, then we will type the address, and then we will click on the search button here. After that, we will see that if multiple records are written by the website or only unique record is written by the website. Okay, so multiple record in the sense the table will come. Okay, and if table is not there, then what should be there? It should be this single record. So here we are. Now I will put annotation when I am telling you to ensure that the other page then multiple records is the property details page only. So let's say if internet is not there or something is there, then it might be the some other thing or some error in the website. So before that, if it is not the table of the multiple record, then we are just ensuring here that yes, it is the parcel page directly. And then once it is there on the true, this is the true branch and this is the false branch. So let's say if that is not the billing address, so that is not the table and that is not the property details page also. Okay, here. So if that case is also failed, then we will set this status. So we can just set status. If so we will set the extraction status as, here I will just change it, property page not found. Okay. So what we will do is we have one variable. You can watch the another video, first video, to understand what is this variable. So whenever we will do some action, there will be some end result. So as of now, the end result will be, this is the free text, so you can do anything here. You can write property page not found. All right, and then I have used same sequence up in 2 3 places. So once this will go property not found, and then this will and then the flow of the project will move to the next record. This will be the end of this flow in case both the branches are failed. Emphasizing this because this is the important thing to learn. And now the other scenario is that yes, we got one unique record page for the county details. Now what we have to do, we have to validate the owner. The owner is right or not. All right, so how we will do that? So this is the sequence from last county. I will just zoom out back. So here we are getting the details. Let's close already open parcels so that we don't do any errors. Go to quick search and let's type the address once again, just to ensure that we are doing everything correctly. Okay, so now you have details here. So what we will do is, in the previous county we have taken entire address because there was no separate element for name. Now in this county there is a separate element for name. So what we will do is we will take this name, and then we can do, let's not do anything, billing details only we will keep, and then we will not change the variable also, extracted billing details. Okay, and then what we had done is that we had split the billing address. Here also we are splitting the name because you see the name is with a space. What we are doing, I'll explain you. So we are, if you want to get in detail, then you have to watch my previous video. I might be saying this again and again because there are so many things which are already done, so we don't have to do extra work. Okay, so split of the address of owner name is here. Okay, I'll close this, and then I am printing the owner name, and after that we are checking that if the owner name which is available in our variable. So this is our extracted owner name and the owner first name. So what is owner first name? Which we have taken after splitting the name from the input variable. So let me show you once again. So here was the in input variable, which is a default variable. So I am just coming once again here. I will zoom so that you can see. All right. So now let's see what is this. Let's change the details also here. I will zoom back to 100. Okay, and let's change the variable details now for view page. This is the owner name. Let's take the street address now. This everything will happen into another flow when we will connect all the part of this project. Okay, I think we require zip code also, right? This we have already changed, and this variable I have already explained that we are using owner name here from this variable. So this variable we are creating, the only thing we have to change is orange, because this is the Orange County. So it will create the folder automatically. That flow is inside it upcoming. All right, let's go back. So we have the flow to validate owner name. So inside this, what we are doing, we are owner name validation result is true. So if our name exists, then the result is true. Otherwise, we will set result to owner name validation result to false. Right? And owner name validation result is a Boolean variable. Okay. All right. So these things are from the previous flow only. Now let's do one thing, that if owner name is true, what we will do, and if owner name is not, I'm setting this on 90 again. All right. So we are here now. So owner name we have set here. Once we have the page, we have checked the owner name. After checking the owner name, what is the further action? Let's understand that now. So once owner name is matched, then we have to download the documents. All right. So payment, tax payment info. So if we come down here, we have to take a click activity and click on this first of all. Function F2 to retype. Property features. Then check the selector if any change is required. Come here in the target. In target, come here. Yes, so this value will change all the time. So let's use wildcard here. Delete that number and put a star. Okay. After that also, okay, and then validate once again. Highlight if you want to check. Yes, it is going on the right. Now release the highlight. Click once again. Click OK. So we have click. Now these are the sequences from previous one. So the sending print key will remain same no matter which is the page, but the element will change. Okay, so the parcel address is not here. So we have to give the selector for some element which is available in the Orange County. And this is from the previous work automation workflow video, DuPage County. All right. So let's give the address of this element. We'll click to this. So this will send hot, okay, and then click on this. You will, I am putting some delay so that window is loaded, which will remain same. Okay, let's do this manually now. So Control P, this will come, and then when you will hit enter, the focus will be automatically on the save button in Google Chrome. When you will hit enter, automatically next window will come. So these actions will remain same no matter how many counties are there or which county is there or what workflow is there. So this is to save the print of a Chrome page, Google Chrome page. So we have this send hotkey, okay, and this is delete the already existing document if it is there. So what name we are using? Let's cancel and see. So I will be using property features. So let's use the same variable, copy from here, or you can just manually type. It is not necessary. And then open. This is from In the previous workflow, it was tax payment. Here we are, so owner name is a variable, so it will remain same. Here we have to do changes. I will replace the spaces with underscore and save. So if the file, the same naming convention or same path file is already exist, okay, I will just zoom it so that you can see. Then it should delete the file before saving the new file. Open the editor, okay, so you can see the name. Set back to 100. And now same name when we have to type in this print window, control E, and then enter. Manually I am doing now, so this window will come and so delete, and then we are checking that if path exists, which means if folder exists, then we will not create. How do you get? How will you get to know? So this is the path existing activity, which you can see from last video, and then the output is the main folder status. So if main folder status is true, okay, then we will not create the folder again. Folder already exists. We are just typing one statement, which you can skip if you want. And if folder is not available, then we are creating the folder, the main folder path which we have given. So main folder path is from here. Here you can see main folder path. This last is variable. Okay. And then if folder is created successfully now, so now what we have to do, we have to type the complete file path which we have used already here. All right. So what we will change, everything, most of the things are variables, so we just have to rename it first, because in this county it is not tax payment info, it is function F. We are saving what? We are saving property features. This is the name. Okay, and then we have to check the value. Go open this and properties and then text, and we have to change this name to property description. Sorry, this is property description, not features. So let's correct here also. Here you will have the display name proper. Okay, now it's correct. So it is just the display name. It will not impact the functionality of your program. So if you want, you can give some short name also, and the save button will remain same as in the previous one. So that's do. There is no change. All right. So if we find that yes, owner name is matched, then we will save the document. And if owner name is not matched, then we will update the output status. Same variable we are using here also. Set the extraction result when owner name is not matched as owner mismatch. Okay, so you see the same variable is owner mismatch. If you remember 10 minutes back, we have set this like same out extraction result to property page not found. Okay, so we have saved one document now, and the document name was in this county. So this will be different in county property description. Now we want to save another document. Okay, cancel. Let's say we want to save this value Let's say we want to save this market status. First of all, just change the name F2 save market stats. So let's do the changes from the previous video. Click on the property tab. So there, okay. So let's click on indicate element just for the change, and you can directly click on this element. If you want, you should. I will always recommend to have a look on the selectors all the time. In this, okay. So here the tab name is function F2. Just rename. Click on market stats. So when I am typing this, it is definitely taking more time. But when you do real-time projects, you have to use these tactics so that whenever there is any issue, you can directly refer to that activity. Print, and I'm giving some delay. Hotkey when I am sending it is. So when we are sending print this element, some we have to send this print command to some element. You can send print to this element itself. Now hotkey, once you will do print here, control P manually I am sending, and then it will hit enter. So for enter you don't need anything because the focus will set on the save button by default. So if you will see, we have not taken any selector in send key. All right, for this send key function F2, which is enter on print window. Delete already existing document. So we have to give some name. We have to decide some name now. Go to properties, open the editor window, and let's change the name to market status. Copy this name because we have to use this once again when we will save the file. Now in this step, we are checking if there is file already available. We will delete that file. And remember that continue on error is true. So because it will delete the file when it will find the file. If the file is not there, then it will throw an error. And if we are by clicking this true and by setting this true continue on error, we are telling the flow that even if there is error, it should continue. Type into the folder path. Here also we have to, when we are typing in the folder path, when that print window will come, this one, after sending enter, then also we have to use the same name. Okay. So here, as of now, you can see due page folder is created, orange folder will be created and the document will be saved there. Let's change the name. Status. Now save button will remain same, so we will not do any changes. So hope you are with me. Like, okay, so once we have saved both the documents, then we have to set this extraction result. So extraction result we will set done. Okay, so 3 times we have set this status. So let me rename and keep the same name across so that you don't get confused. You see here we are setting, here we are setting when it is false, and when we have successfully extracted the address, then also we are setting the status. All right, now let's come back to one thing which we have left over. As I have already explained around 10 to 15 minutes back, like When multiple results will come, then we have to come back here and then we have to click on the one record and then we will be back to the same window, which is the single record window like this. Okay, so now let me tell once again. So this is the multiple result. If I will read this, click, let's say there are so many addresses, right? And you can set this to 25. Okay, and so we have to click on one record, so whichever name is matched we have to click on that, and then this page will come. So these actions now, so there, if you are watching this video from starting, so unique is created. Now we have to come back to unique after performing certain steps. All right, so which steps we have to perform? Let's see that. Set this to 25 because sometimes record might not be available within 5 records. So do Control Shift T, you will see all the list, and we need a select item. Okay, here indicate on screen, and you can click on this. So as of now this is 5. Let's just change this to 25. And if you want to test this part separately, what you can do, you can right click and start, set as a start node, and let's ensure that yes, element is on screen, and run this. So you see the value is set to 25. This is working fine. Now let's remove this start node button. Okay, and if you want, you can remove this flow also right now. We have to connect it back when we will run the complete flow. Okay, so once we have this, what we have to do is we have to loop through each row. Once we have 25 records on screen. Okay, so as of now for this record we don't have 25, we have only 5 to 6. You see 4, 5, 6, 7. But still, to set the logic, this much data is enough. So what we will do is we will take selector and then we will use dynamic selectors to loop through each row. So let's try to learn about UI Explorer in this video. Click on this, and then first of all let's see the pattern of the selectors. So I will click on this line. Okay, so let's take row and column, and column has name also, so taking name is always better. So this is row table row. If you will highlight now, the table row is 2, correct? Let's highlight. So the table is starting from 2, that is clear. Now you see one pattern is there, right? The two different records are there. So we have to see if this is 2, 3, 4, it is 5 and 6 or only 5. That we have to see. Yeah, this is roll number 5. And then let's see the next. It is 6 or what it is. If it is 7, then 5 and this is 5 and 6. Okay, let's see. Yeah, it is 6. So everything is coming in one row. So what we have to do is now we have to create a selector, dynamic selector, and we can select this column name also, just to ensure that selectors are working properly. We'll copy this from here. Okay, and we will take the text. So get text. Get text. Okay, and get text from where? Function to owner's name. You give a annotation here. Take owner name from the loop. We have to set this element inside the loop, but right now I'm not doing that. I will do first of all, I will do that in some time and then make this like that. Okay. So now you have the element, but there is no selector because we have not indicated the element, right? This, and we are not going to do this because we have created the selector manually. So I am doing this just because you can understand this part also. Let's go to properties, go to selector and paste your selector here in the down window. Okay, you will see all the elements and attributes are available on top. Let's make this as wildcard number change set. And now you have to understand one thing, that this part which is row, this will always be changing because we will loop. Okay, all right, click on OK. And in the coming video I will be telling a different approach for same thing. And then we have to create one element which will be, and we can keep the scope till here only within this sequence. Okay, accessibility we can bind till this sequence. So let's click on this get text owner name, go to properties, do control K, did owner from table. Okay, and then what we have to do, let's print the extracted name. I will take right line activity WRITE search here. Okay, and you can search activities from here also. Then the variable which where we have stored this value is extracted owner name. Extracted owner name from the table. Now just run this part. Only this part I have already set as a start node. Okay, running this. Let's see. So it has extracted the name successfully. Okay, which is the 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and the selector, if you will see, what is our selector for the element? This is the element, and you can validate once again that it is 6. Now, what we have to do is, as per the design of the flow, that we have to go in each line and then we have to check that where our owner name will match. So now the next part is that we have to loop through entire table. So for that, what we will do is we'll create one more variable, assign, and then do control. This side we will come, and then we will do control K, table row counter, and then let's go to variable panel, and table row counter, we have to set this as integer. Okay, after this we have to, the table is starting from 2 loop. Okay, so it is starting from 2, right? So now what next is, we have to take a while loop. So what we will do is till 25. So until unless this is the condition which we will give is table row counter is less than 25, then it will running. Okay, so I hope you understand the while loop and do while loop. So it will run till this condition is met. All right, or let's say we'll make this less than 26 because we are selecting 25 rows. Now next is that we have to drag that print activity, because we have to extract the owner name inside the loop every time for each row. So row number 1, then row counter will increase, then again row counter will increase. So wherever match will be found, we will break. Or let's say if the next element is not there, then also we have to break the flow, because I have selected 25, but the total result count for this address match is only 7. So the element number 8 will not be available, and the flow will send error, or flow will return error. So for that also we have to think. Now let's go to the workflow. Okay, and cut this from here, Control X, paste inside this body. So it will take the name again and again, and we have to do one more thing, that we have to now change this. Row number 6 has to be the dynamic now, because this will change as per the row counter. So we have to pass the row counter value here. Okay, so now select this like this and do right click. Use variable option will come when you will do right click. Do like this, control, and you can use control K also. When you will click here, it will show all variables which are available, for which are accessible within this scope. So our variable is row counter, which we required now. So just select that. You can delete this 6 also from here, confirm. So now this row counter will change again and again, and the value also, the output also will change accordingly as per the row, this output. Okay, let's come inside the while body. And then after that, we have to increase the row counter by 1. So assign activity we have to use. So once we are in the loop, we have to increase, because then only that condition will be met sometime. Table row counter equals to. If you are not able to get the variable names which you have created, then you understand that there is some scope related issue. Means you have to change the scope, which I will just tell you. Okay. So scope, you can see variables here, and if you will create, so this is how you can change the scope. So these two variables, this one, extracted owner name, will be accessible only within this sequence. If you will go out of this sequence, these variable will not be accessible. From here you can change the accessibility of the variables, which is explained very well in previous videos. All right, so you have taken the name and you have increased the row counter. You have to think one thing, that if the row number, we have selected 25 and we have given the range or the value till 25, but if there are only 7, then what will happen? So for that, what we will do is we will create a element exist. Means we will first check that if row is available or not. So same row we are extracting the owner name, and we will be checking the same element. We will not be having any different element. Function F2 and element exist EE. If next, check next row. We have not taken the selector by indicating the element. We have directly created them. So we will copy from here. You don't have to worry about this red icon of validate, because we are using variable here. We are not using exact value, so it cannot find the element. Just copy this. Okay. And then pass into this element exist selector property here. Open in the editor window, paste it. Again, it will not be validated, but you can click again and then okay. Now Control K, and then we will create next row as status. This is a boolean, so automatically UiPath will set the type when you will use this the type of element. Okay, and then what we can do is we can check. And yes, one more important thing is we can set the timing, because it wait for 3 seconds. So if it will wait for 3 seconds, your workflow will be very late, 25 into 3 seconds. Let's set the timing for. We can check in the if condition function F2, rename it if next row found. So how will we see that next row found or not? If this is true, element next row status is true. Okay, then all right, we don't have to do anything. It will just pass. No action is required. But if it is not found, then we have to break the flow here. So whenever you will use any loop in UiPath or any language, it will allow you to use break and continue. So here we are using break. If you are not sure about break and continue statement functionality within the loop, then you can watch my video 9.1 on my YouTube channel. Okay, so we have set this logic, and this also we have to print inside the name. Go here once you extract the name and then paste. So let me explain this flow once again. So we are first checking that if next row is available or not. If it is available, then we will not do anything. And if it is not available, then we will break the flow so that there is no error in the flow one. Once we are continuing the flow, then we will get the name of the owner from here. Okay, and then we are printing the name as of now, and then we are increasing the row counter. Okay, in y1 to move to next row. All right, hope you understood this. Now let's come and see if this is extracting all the names or not. This is the sequence and will come out of the sequence from here. And we will run only this sequence which is already set as a start node. Okay. Right click and set if it is not. Then let me run this now. So you can see all the names. I will just open this. You can have a look on the names. B, Berry, Ares, and these all the names. And then now let's go to output panel and see all of these names also. So I hope you understood how it will look. Now, next is that we have to compare the name. That yes, the name which is our file name does exist. So we will take only one part of the name and then we will test if it is available in the name. Then we will break the flow once again so that considering that that is the final record for us, and then we will click on that. Okay, so let's do that now. And I am comparing only the first name with entire string, so that might be different in the real time project when you will do. So this is basic, so I am not explaining, I'm not going into very much in depth. All right, so as of now we have already given the owner name here. Okay, so we will, and when we will connect the flow, it will come through the arguments. So in owner name. So what we will do is we will just, we have already done that in one more flow where we are validating the owner name here. Okay, and then I will go back to my sequence here, and after in the while, though we have done this already, but still I will do this once again. So we already have the idea now. We will create one assign activity and one new variable like oh first name from input. What is our input? Our input is in owner name. Okay, so now go to properties, open the expression editor, So what we have to do is split split. We have to split our incoming name in name. Okay. So what is our variable in owner name? And then we have to comma. We have to split that with space. So here is one space. All right. And once it will break into, once the name will be broken into two different parts or three different part using a space, we are just taking first. So to take the first part of it, it is 0. Okay, so now next is that we have to check that if the name, this owner first name from our input exists in the name which is extracted or not. Okay, and to ensure that if the name is coming in the lowercase or uppercase, it is matching. So what we will do, this extracted name, okay, extracted owner name from table dot to string. I think this is already a string, so dot to upper, okay, upper dot contains. So we will see that extracted owner name contains this. So inside the brackets, we have to pass the variable input name dot to upper, so that it is always converting in the upper and then comparing. Okay, you can see the expression here. Owner first name, if extracted owner name dot upper contains owner first name dot upper. Okay, then we will have, so show else, you have to click on here, plus if it is true that yes it contains, then we have to break the loop, and second we have to create one status. Control K, table name. We have name match one more there, which is for the unique record. So this is for table, so I am using this table name match, status status, okay, which we will use as boolean, and we have to access this status outside also, so that we can decide the flow. Okay, so let's change the scope from here. Just click here and come down. So owner name variation table name match status. Okay, so this and this, the meaning is same. This is used for single and this is used for table. Okay, don't get confused in the name. If you want, you can change the name also here, like table underscore table underscore this, and let's have this as boolean, and it will automatically change the name here also. Okay, and then if we have found the match, then we will set it to true, and we will we have to break the flow after setting the status. Let's say you can copy this from here, and let's say if name is not found, then you have to set this as in the else branch false. Table owner name validation result. So here the sequence is not changed. This so we have to set this to top again. All right. Now it will not give error. So true, here it is true, here it is false, and we can access this outside. Just to test this, right line, and that result is table owner name validation result dot to string, because it is a boolean variable. And let's see if it is found. We will run, it is already set as a start node, so we will run from here. It will go on all the records and it will check, and it will write the final status here. Okay, our name you can see once again, it is here, and the same name I will show you on the screen also. It is here. All right, let's run and see the what is the result. It is true, so it is printed the executed all the previous lines and it has written true here. If you want to see once again, just go inside and disable this line, control D, and then come out once again and run. It is true. Let's change this back to O, and I will just cut this entire name from here. I will write TEST. Let's run this now. You can see false because that name which I have changed is does not exist anywhere. Okay, so our flow is working fine. So this is how you should test everything one by one. Okay, now we have revised the changes because we have tested successfully. Save. Let me set this to 80. So you can see now once it is matched, then what we have to do, we have to click on the same name. All right. So now for that, what we have to do, we have to again open the same flow and go in the name exists, and once name is found, before we are breaking the flow, we can click on the element. So how can we click? We already have the selector because we are using same selector for everything. We are using same selector to get the text also. So same element we have to click from where we are getting the text from this element, right? And we have to click on this element itself. So we don't have to change the selector. We can use our ongoing selectors, which is using this row counter dynamically. Okay, so copy this from here. This is little critical part, so you might have to watch this two time or three times to understand properly. And then we will take a click activity. You don't have to indicate the element again and again if you know the proper selector. Okay, and click. Serialize. Click on table record. Annotation you can add. Details page. So once match is found, click on the matched record to reach on the page. So we will click go inside. You don't have to indicate because this is dynamic selector. You cannot give fixed selector, and you already have the selector for that element. Okay, even if you validate, it will not come because it is using this variable. Click on OK now. All right. Let's open this. Let's enable this once again so that we can see the name. And one more thing which is very important, that if you will click here, okay, you then it will always click on the next, because from here you are increasing this. So when you will reach on this element, the row number will increase. So what you have to do, you have to move this down after this flow. Okay. All right. So let's test this now. That does it will click or not on the right element. The small mistake we have done somewhere. It seems there is some error in the flow. So it is not finding the billing details, but billing details are available. Okay, so two, three changes I will do. First of all, let's make this click as simulate and make some delay before here. So I will put 2000. So it is a bit slow, but yes, it will have less errors. But you should not keep too much of delay. 1 second, 2 seconds is idle. Second thing is let's check the flow from here. It's not able to find this element. Check the selector. Yeah. So here is the issue. This has to be wildcard because this is a changing number. Validate. Maybe that element will come after clicking on this. So let's check this selector. What is the selector here? And then let's change this once again. Validate. Right. Let's check this part also. So when everything is fine, now next is that we have to click on the property features. So let's check the selector here as well before we run. It's not active. So what we have to do, we have to let's use UI Explorer once again. And just to make this proper, we will take this inner text, which might not change. Okay, and then here, if you want, you can just use a star and validate. Yes, it is available. We'll use this selector here because it finds better. Validate, working. Okay. Okay, now let's do the same correction in this coming market status as well. Okay. All right. So, okay, and then this validate. Yes, selector is valid and there are no changing part seems to be there. So copy this from here. Go back to market status properties. I think this is also corrected. Quite stable now. Check other things. Not required. Yeah, this change. So we are sending this hotkey on market status itself. So we can use same selector there. All right. Control A, Control C. It's copied to clipboard, and then you can just paste here, validate. Okay. So we have done the required corrections, and now let me close the existing browser and run the flow once again. Address is typed, it is clicked, search button. It is on the property page now. Okay. It's saving the first document. Folder creation will happen in the background. Saving the second document. All right. Now let's go and check in the folder. So you can see like folder is created, and you can see the timing here, and you can see timing here also. Yes, it is Christmas. So Merry Christmas to you all. And you can see the documents are saved, and the Orange County folder is automatically created. This is the name of the customer. Here are the related document. Let's open one document. So you can see the name is also correct as per our variables. Okay. So now this was for the one record. Now let me show you for the multiple records. So for that, I will do a small change. Okay, before we run the multiple flow, actually there is a small correction here. We have to delete this branch because it is directly checking here that billing details is available or not. But before checking, it has to go through that element. So the flow is missing that element right now. So what we have to do is we have to delete this branch, and we have to drag this little bit down. Okay. As I told you that this website changes very frequently because it is a new website. Here you can see the screenshot. Let's check if there is any change in the selector. Okay, so let's open our UI Explorer. Indicate any element here. Alright, so now title is like this. As you have noticed in the previous part of this video, I had already confirmed that there might be some changes. So what we will do as a strategy, like we will keep this property and we will put this star star both the sides. Okay, let's do that now. So I'll go and let's start the multiple record because before it was already same thing. You check all the elements before you run this. So I will remove this. I will make star star and not property search, only property. So star is wildcard. Anything coming before, anything coming after, it will accept. But the property is available in both the selectors. And if you want, you can put completely star also. So you can make these changes across all the elements. Okay. Alright, so I will just complete it and then come back. You can do the changes yourself. Okay, so now the flow is corrected. Selectors also we have changed. So before I go ahead, I have to change the variable data for the multiple records. Let's go to the Excel. So we have done multiple records development using this data, this record. So I'll just change the owner name first of all. Go here in the variables, change owner name to okay, and we have not taken any street address for the multiple so that it will find multiple record for that house number. Okay, so go back and take this one 12825. Change here. So these are the only changes which we have to do. Pin code is not in scope as of now. Okay, so let's save this flow here, minimize. All right. Now everything looks fine. We have changed the structure and we have changed the selectors also. So you can have a look once again. How is it going? It is top and it is the multiple records checking, and if multiple records then matched, then it will come here. Otherwise it will write the status that name is not found. Okay, so let me run this now. I will explain once again when it is completed. Address is type multiple records. It has clicked and expanded the table. Match is found. It is typing the saving the first document now. Now clicked on the market status. Saving the market status now. All right. Yeah. So flow is successful. Now let's go to the folder and check. Here is the record, and you can see and you can open the record. These two files are saved: market status and property description. Open the record just to check the name. Here is the name, and now let's check the name into our file, and better let's check the name into our variable also. Here it is. All right, hope you understood the entire flow of this county development, and if you are finding this project interesting, please share the link to your friends. If you are not able to connect at any point of this video, you can comment with the timing. I will try to answer and I will try to explain the scenario there. And if you will like my videos, it will be really helpful for me. Thank you very much for your time, and let's meet in the next video.